I wanted to make a quick video in the wake of some recent world events that has maybe brought some negative attention to science. And when I say negative, I mean in the way that science isn't necessarily efficient. You know, why do we do studies that don't necessarily have an immediate real world impact? Things like, I don't know if there's some kind of knowledge fallacy or whether the Germans have their own word for it or whether it's just kind of, you know, staying in your own lane. But I want to show why that argument is politely bollocks. We don't waste money. So I'm going to give you a study name. The voltage-gated potassium channel shall KV4 contributes to active hearing in Drosophila. Now I imagine that will have gone over many of your heads. When I first read it, it kind of went over my head. If you're slightly intuitive, you might kind of think that it's something to do with how flies hear, and you wouldn't be far off with that. The study is about how antennae in female flies move to detect the mating sounds of male flies, and you might be thinking, you know, why on earth do we care how female flies pick up their sneaky links? And you wouldn't be far off with that. The study is about how antennae in female flies move to detect the mating sounds of male flies, and you might be thinking, you know, why on earth do we care how female flies pick up their sneaky links? But here's the kicker. So that gene can be silenced. That gene is also present in mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are the biggest killers of humans ever. More than the wars, more than the diseases. Mosquitoes are the biggest killers of humans. And, you know, you might think that's a problem for Africa, South America, some areas of Asia. And firstly, I'd say have some humanity. And second, I would also say that as climate change continues to happen, and it will, mosquitoes are going to become a bigger problem everywhere. Malaria zones will increase because mosquitoes will be able to travel to different places. Probably we're already spending billions every year managing and controlling mosquito populations, and this study potentially provides another tool in the arsenal of how we control and manage mosquito populations going forward. Already we've gone from why on earth do I care about this to potentially helping to solve a multi-billion-dollar problem. You might not always understand, but there's usually method in the madness. We can't always do big world-changing studies right off the bat. There's usually a lot of smaller steps that happen in between. Science is an iterative process. And it's also really important to keep in mind that a lot of our best discoveries have kind of happened when we've not been looking for that thing in the first place.